Hiya, hiya.
I have a shtick that I want you to do.
Okay.
Do you remember our theme song? Do you remember how it goes?
We have a theme song.
Like, I want you to hum the whole theme song.
People are losing money.
Can you imagine losing? Well, I can. Can you imagine losing $800,000 in 6 months?
I would feel like a fool. That's how I would feel. Don't get me wrong here. I feel bad for anybody who loses that amount of money, but to lose $800,000 because of a decision I made only 6 months ago, Daryl.
Gotta be a moron.
Well,
No?
let's not do name calling, Daryl,
Sorry, I resort to name calling because I'm
because
not so
they could
bright.
have had a serious incident in their family.
Well,
But But let's before we start talking about that, okay? Before
yeah,
we start
way
talking
more
about that,
important stuff than
way
major losses in the market
more
that are happening.
important things, all right?
What else?
I'm meeting people right now who are just absolutely, and it kind of goes like hand in hand with this type of situation. Agents are agents are desperate, Daryl.
So the end of the sentence was you were meeting people that are absolutely desperate because you said
Agents are desperate.
absolutely. Okay.
Agents are desperate and people are getting hurt
Hmm.
because what's going on right now, from my experience, is even the most experienced agents and people who've been around the business for decades, they're not making a lot of money and they're giving out some bad advice. So I had this one couple who came to me this week who were like, "Yeah, we just want you to like sell our home for, this great price." And I was like, "Okay, like sure, explain the whole situation to me." And they're like, "Well, we bought this house a couple years ago and now we spent a couple $100,000 in renovations and we want to get, our money back." And I'm like, "Well, let's look into that." The same house that you bought for 1.2 last year is now going for 900.
Yeah.
I think you overpaid. And then you spent 200 plus $1,000 renovating it. You got some bad advice. This isn't the type of house to be renovating, right? Because it's an area that you could rebuild, and that would have been a great lot for someone just to tear down and rebuild a house. And then they said, "Well, we got this other house because our agent, when we had bought this house, they said we're going to sell our big home and move into here and downsize and get rid of our mortgage." And I said, "Oh, well, I thought, maybe that house they'd been in for a long time." No, that agent sold in that house in 2022. And
Oi.
they paid 1.7 for that house.
Oh my
And they
God.
put in two to $300,000 worth of renovations.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm double subscribed. Do it yourself. Didn't get to fix the show though. Didn't get to fix the show.
Please subscribe and
Well, the agent's like, "Oh, you're going to get 1.9 now." Of course, it couldn't sell after they already got him to go firm on this new purchase at 1.2. So they've collected the first commission check on the 1.7. Now they're collecting the commission check on the 1.2, and they're just like, "Well, I'll try to sell it for 1.9 and I'll try to sell this one for 1 point whatever." Meanwhile, the house they bought for 1.7 is worth less than 1.7 now after a couple $100,000 worth of renovations. And the house they bought for 1.2 is worth way less than 1.2 after a couple $100,000 worth of renovations. And then that agent's just like, "Yeah, I'll terminate your contract. Don't worry. You don't have to sell with me. You can go and call Frank Leo and see if he'll buy it." And I'm just like, what kind of advice are people getting from their agents here? Like that agent
Imagine though.
cleaned up
Imagine.
though,
Sure. And this is why people hate you fuckers, right?
right?
Because
I don't blame them.
no, they're listen. I mean, it's not even like there's just a couple of bad apples in the bunch. Like the
Yeah.
whole bunch is fucking rotten. Nobody got any training. Everybody was just thrown in. Everybody has a cousin, a sister, a brother,
This is not incompetence. This is I was
deliberate.
so angry. I was so angry when I found out that she bought the house in 2022. At the house, I was like, "Okay, it sounds like your agent's an idiot. It sounds like you guys might be idiots too." But I'll reserve my judgment for after I until I get all the facts. Once I saw that they had actually paid, because I drove by the house afterwards. Once I saw that they overpaid in 2022, and within like 2 years, that agent was like, "Yeah, just renovate the house and we're gonna sell it for more." Like every agent knows that prices from 2022 were way out to lunch and that there's no way you're getting anywhere near that no matter what you do to the house in this market. And the fact that they said, "Go and buy another one firm and we'll sell this one for a profit." Like, clearly an agent who is trying to just take care of themselves.
But
There is not one room. I don't care what evidence you show me. That agent there, if I ever hear her name or see her in a listing or cross paths or anything like that, my judgment has been made, because that's the type of agent that is. I can guarantee you. There's no doubt in my mind.
But I mean, how do you change the system so that the incentive isn't to do that? Because I don't care who the fuck you are. I mean, listen, there's a lot of agents on social media right now pretending like they didn't tell people that it was fine to buy the goddamn house that they got into. Okay. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people, mortgage brokers, pretending that they didn't give loans on fucking condos that were purchased at 30% more than they probably should have been. Okay.
Mhm.
There's so many people out there pretending like they weren't part of the whole fucking mess. And
Yep.
it's bullshit, because everybody on the way up thought it was never going to end. Okay. I don't care how seasoned you were. I don't care who the fuck you were. Yeah. Maybe there's a few people that saw it coming and 20 years earlier and predicted it forever, and we're finally right. And maybe there's a few people that are so fucking smart that they knew exactly what was going to happen, but most people were caught up in the frenzy. And most, look, obviously most buyers and sellers don't have a fucking clue about real estate. They don't live and breathe it. They got normal jobs, they're normal people. They just want to fucking live in a place and be happy and not deal with this shit. And when they have to deal with it, they don't know what the hell to do. They don't know who the hell to trust. And clearly the system is designed against them, right? And I don't know how you change the incentives so that the salespeople actually do what's right for the buyers and the sellers. I don't know how
I
you do
I
that.
I have to just, keep my mouth shut on this one, because I'm telling you, it's totally clear. One, we'll talk about the pre-construction agents. How many of
Ooh,
those idiots,
yeah.
right, knew what they were getting into in the end? I'm sure on the way up, I don't think they did. I really don't think they did. I really truly believe that most of them thought that things were going, in the right direction, that person would be able to close, they'd be able to sign, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But in the end, some of the stories that I heard about people just being like, buy three of them and we're going to assign them all. It was greed. It was corruption. It was incompetence, and it was criminal behavior. If
Inexperience.
you ask me, it's
Inexperience.
they
Nobody
a
had.
lot of them knew what they were doing at that point. That's my personal opinion. That's not
Maybe.
pointing any fingers at anybody. I'm sure there's lots of good people out there, but at the end, I guarantee you that there was people sitting there going like, "Holy smokes, this makes no sense." But this guy will buy three of them, and I'm going to convince him to do that, without ever considering the risk whatsoever. And to
Yeah.
me, as an agent, that is your responsibility to protect your clients. When I see that story with that lady, I'm like, oh my God, like this is, you know, enough is enough.
Right. And so what again, it's like the incentives, right? The commission on the sale, okay?
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay? Nothing happens after the sale, okay? There's no responsibility for anything. There's barely any before the sale, right?
Yeah.
A- How do you change that? How do you make it so that there's a, because even a person working on a salary, now they
Yeah.
give a fuck even less now, right?
Yeah.
Because they're guaranteed their money. Doesn't matter what they do. They go take a shit for 2 hours, and the sales office is out. How do you do it in a way where incentives align somehow with everybody's best interests?
Yeah. Well, they have clawbacks in pre-con. I just thought of this right now. I don't know how it would work,
That's
but a
a
clawback on
mess.
the commission. So, somehow if the person bought the property and, they sell it for a loss, the agent's commission's automatically clawed back or something like that. I don't know. And the brokerage is on the hook for it,
That's a
and they're the ones who
pre-con.
will. I know, I'm just saying. I'm just coming up with ideas here. We're brainstorming,
No,
Darryl.
but when we're selling a house to a new couple, okay, or we have
Yeah.
a 40-year-old couple ready to move on up, right?
Yeah.
How do we incentivize the industry to actually do something that's in their best interest? Because everybody's trying to fuck those people somehow along the way, except for
Yeah.
TK, of course,
Listen,
and me. I,
listen.
I never I never want to
Okay.
anything from anybody. But other
All
than
I'm saying,
us, TK.
all I'm saying, there's a lot of bad people here. I'm not. There's lots of good agents there too. I don't want to point any fingers, but there's lots of good agents out there who are doing their job. In my opinion, is when you're selling a lot of properties, you're going to do this less often. You know, you're busy, you got lots of clients. If you're getting proper training and coaching and mentorship and everything else like that, they're going to say, "Look, you're busy, you got money, you're okay, you're secure. Treat these people really well. They'll tell their friends and family, and they'll be your clients for life." And that's always been what's been, taught to me. But I know that there's probably agents who are struggling. And so they're like, oh my God, I need a deal. I'm behind on all my payments, and they're going to do whatever it can. But I want to say a nice story about somebody in this industry on the way up. Because you said everybody on the way up is whatever. Remember Arboro? We had them on the show.
What?
Do you remember Arboro?
What's Arboro? No, I do not.
Arboro. A girl
Clearly.
came on, the owner or the CEO or something like that.
Of
She came on
what?
our
What
show.
was it?
She's a company where they help people with down payments. And so you have like
Oh,
2.5% down, and they came up with the extra, like whatever it was,
uh,
17.5%. And they had an
not
investor.
not a
And then,
scheme. Not
oh
a
man,
scheme. Not a
well,
scam.
listen, I understand your skepticism. All
Yes.
right. But
Where are they
I know
now?
for a fact. Well, I'm sure they're bankrupt now. Okay, Daryl. Okay,
With the Bitcoin
listen. I'm
mortgage
not
guy.
saying this is a great idea to use, but I would tell you that their values are. I've had some personal experience with them lately.
Yeah.
That their values are what is best for the customer, and they knew the risks that they were going into. And let's
Mhm.
just say anybody who is into those type of situations who's selling right now, Arbro's getting wiped out, right? But Arbro's handling it very well and taking it on the chin. All
Oh,
right. And
really?
I'm sure their investors all knew what they were getting into. So therefore,
Is this factual or
this
are
is
we
factual. This is personal
oh no.
experience with the company telling you that they are not I'm sure lots of the deals are doing good. I'm sure some of their investors are making money, but the ones that ended up being in a bad position, that are unfortunate, they're not bankrupt. I'm not this don't
That's
quote
what I'm
that.
asking
Don't
you.
reel
You're
that. I
making
don't
this whole thing up.
No, I'm not. I'm just telling you from personal experience, when the client loses money and our bro says, we understand, and that this was the risk we took, and you're losing money, we're losing money, we're going down together. And that they're not like a crooked organization. They're actually very, very, very decent. So out of all the people I've dealt with on this type of situation, Arbro's surprisingly uh, kind when they're getting beaten down on these type of deals.
Well, that's good.
Private mortgages, not so much.
Not so much.
Very few private lenders are willing to negotiate. Worst bank to deal with, Home Trust. If you guys are getting a mortgage with Home Trust and you can't pay them, just understand what you're signing up for. Those
Well,
guys,
you
we
need
got
to understand.
Gowlings as lawyers downtown, and it's just
Yeah.
like they're not gonna have any emotion or any type of sympathy for your
Well, but you
situation.
got to know if you're going to get a mortgage from Home Trust, what you're getting into. Like they're
Yeah,
a little trickier than most. They're a little more expensive than most.
they're
They're
great when you need them.
not a
And,
first
and maybe it's
option
just the
for most.
experiences that I've got with them, but so far, Home Trust has got the power sale stick ready to shake. Although I did see a couple examples where they delayed it for a long time, but then
Mhm.
they ran out of patience. So,
It's hard
anyways,
to have
that's my
patience.
anecdotal stories. Time to like, comment, and subscribe, Daryl.
Yes, it is, TK. Yes, it is. Do it now, please. Right now, TK. But okay, so that's great. I wanted
Yeah,
to mention something that I thought was interesting that happened this week.
tell me.
And it's not good news. I don't think it's good news. It's interesting news.
Okay.
We quote them regularly or information from them regularly. You must know stories.
Yeah,
I guess they're an online magazine. I don't know what you would call them, an
their website.
online
They're
newspaper,
journalism. Yeah.
journalism,
They're real estate
they're
forefront
media.
journalism.
Well,
Yeah.
they had a team member leak to the media, which I guess social media this week, that they were closing
Really?
and they were going out of business. And the company said they put out a statement and they were like, no. We're not going out of business. We're not closing. We're just pausing for a second. We need to try and figure this out, right? We're going to take a pause. We're not going anywhere. That I mean, most companies that are going out of business or are doing well, they don't pause.
Sure.
Um, so I think, I mean, listen, what do they do? Okay. They were selling advertisement for pre-construction condo sales. So
Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
Who's advertising with stories right now? Definitely not enough people to cover the bills. We need to
Yeah.
pause and figure out how the fuck we're going to keep this thing going, because they also happen to mention that they've never had more traffic ever.
Yeah.
Okay. So content without ads for them doesn't make any sense, doesn't make them any money. They need to figure out how to take advantage of all that traffic that they're generating. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
really, I mean, to me, you have stories, they make articles, they make no money without advertising. They really could be like the owner and ChatGPT, and that's it now. Like they don't need an office with writers and people selling ad space, and like they don't need this anymore. They need like one guy with like a paywall, like pay me $5 or $10 a month, and I'm gonna pump out all these great articles every fucking day or
Yeah.
week, right?
Why not switch to a paywall?
Well, I don't know, but like maybe they'll just switch to a paywall. Who
Yeah.
are would you pay for stories? I don't Do you pay for the, what do they call it? The Toronto Star and the Toronto Sun, the Globe and Mail? You pay for that shit?
Yeah.
You don't you? You son of a
Yeah.
bitch. Why? Why would you pay for that when you have stuff like stories, okay? Where you can get all the information, right?
Because nothing like that can last forever because obviously you need to find a system. It's kind of like a discount real estate team. It's like you're going to find a guy who's going to do it for cheaper for sure, but don't think he's going to be in business for very long because after he realizes that you can't make any money,
Right.
advertising and the overhead and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's talk about overhead with businesses. This is a very common thing when the market goes up, right?
Yeah.
Is you have a
I'm
lot of
glad.
people
Yeah.
who have leased office space, who've
I'm
hired all these
so glad
employees.
you mentioned this. I got a
Yeah.
great story for you.
Yeah.
Personal story with a
All right.
building
I'm
that
done
we
talking.
own.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, you go ahead. I want
No,
to
I was
add
there.
to it
That's all I
after.
wanted to say because
You're
and your
done.
story will highlight my point. So go ahead.
It's definitely going to highlight your point, and
Yeah.
it's I guess it's anecdotal, but it's personal. So we own a few commercial spaces,
Yeah.
and my wife's family owns a few commercial spaces, and one of them, a major tenant that we've had forever and has a huge chunk of space and makes up a giant amount of the revenue on one of the buildings, is leaving, right? And
Hmm.
that's fucking annoying. And so what I want to just kind of frame for you here, TK, is we talked a few weeks ago about the rendering companies that had to reorganize and figure out because there's nothing to render, right? There's nobody using renderings. Now we see, we talked even before about other media companies closing the doors, right? We've talked about construction costs coming down for stuff like demolition and forming and the early stage kind of stuff, right? And so now this tenant, they're like commercial hardware, okay, like hangers and structural hardware. And so that kind of, that ties all of the structure together. And so you can just kind of see how the whole construction industry is having to pause or restructure or is about to layoffs, crews, the worst guys are getting let go, and like your worst project manager, and on and on. And then it's like, okay, we got to find a new space because we can't afford all this space anymore. We can't even fill the space. Or people have to think of ways to save money, like you're saying, because overhead, which I learned personally when I had fucking 45 people working for me in a warehouse and a showroom and all this stuff and crazy payroll every 2 weeks, that will fucking eat you alive. Okay.
Hmm.
And one of my mentors a long time ago, who had a big business, he sat me down. We were having a coffee, and he says, before you start adding people, just make sure that this is the road you want to go down, because it ain't easy, right? And it's like overhead in the bad times will eat you alive, right?
Hmm.
And you end up, it's like you hire these people, you work with them every day, they're like family. And when times are tough, it's like, uh-oh, like, fuck, I gotta fire like a family member for God's sakes, and like their
Yeah.
wives and their kids, and it's like, but this is what a lot of people are going through right now. A
Yeah.
lot of people, and I don't think it's like the middle. It's not the end. It's not the
Oh,
middle. I
oh,
think
oh.
we're like getting
Getting
started.
started. Yeah,
Yeah,
we are.
yeah,
We're just getting started. Like population's like not growing anymore. Okay. There's less and less jobs because of those businesses that are closing down, that they're cutting out their overhead, right? We've
government
got
jobs too.
right. So the overall like economy is shrinking. So we don't have, unless we had this big population boom that caused a bunch of other issues for us before, that's not going to happen. Unless we had, a huge amount of, liquidity in the market where everybody's going to want to start spending money and everything else again. That's not going to happen because everybody's servicing their debt that they piled on over the last 10 years,
At
right?
higher rates too.
At rates that are slightly higher. They're coming down a little bit, but that's
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. And then you just have people who are just like wiped out. And even though like this top class of people are doing better than ever, and that there's a certain level of wealth out there, like when the stock market's at all-time highs, there's certain people who are richer than ever, right? Like that's just the way it goes. There are people who are more invested into real estate and all that kind of stuff, and so those people there have been taking the big hits. But overall, when you're looking at businesses and business wealth and business equity, a lot of guys right now they've got the money, but they ain't spending it, right? Because they looked at the stock market is literally overvalued by probably double, right, than where it should be. And so everyone's going like, I don't think so. I don't think I want to buy those. Go online and look at toys right now. You want to buy a nice toy? You want to buy a nice ATV or boat or, sports car or something like that?
Good
Go online
time.
and look.
Good
Yeah.
time, no? But then there's other stuff that's like so crazy to buy and so expensive. And I don't know, some of these companies, you see the new like Rolls Royce, what's it, like a Winnebago bus for like
No.
100 and something million, or I don't even know, $35 million bus you can drive around. It's like a condo on wheels, like a
That's,
hotel.
something that I was planning on getting, but,
Yeah, but I'm
it's,
telling you,
it was on back order.
It's the K-shape thing. Like the
Yeah.
rich, there are some wealthy people making a fuck ton of money, right? Selling their stock and waiting to see what happens and now doing all kinds of stuff. Or some people's businesses are going crazy right now. Like it
Yeah.
depends where you are in this thing. But like most are getting
Average
fucking
person
hammered
average
right now.
person is
Killed,
down and out, and they're talking to me, and I don't
killed.
know anybody who's in a service business or anything else that's localized here in Toronto whose business is up.
Do
Okay,
you
so I
I
get it. You got some international businesses. You're coast to coast. You got some contracts. You got all those type of things. You're doing well. Good for you. I'm happy for you. You're an investor. You're into the stock market right now. Your investments are doing good. Your dividends are coming in. Good for you. You're running a shop. You're running a chain. You're running a weed shop. You're running a coffee shop. You're like you're selling cars. You're selling houses. I don't care what you're doing. This year is not as good as last year.
No, for
Yeah.
most people, it is just brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
I sit with people, people invite me for a coffee and they want to talk and pick my brain, and I'm like, this guy's about to go bankrupt for sure. This guy is fucked, or this guy's gonna lose his job. Like, how many people right now, like I look at people and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that this guy's going to lose his job pretty fucking soon. And even
Mhm.
if it isn't from the economy, it's from AI because, like, this guy doesn't do anything, right? This guy's not even working all fucking day. At some point, they're going to figure out that you only do like an hour and a half of work today,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I don't know. And I think the whole AI replacement job topic sounds good.
yeah,
But if anything, we've seen a lot of issues with AI, and I think that there's going to be a lot of enhancement to jobs. There'll be jobs created, there will be some jobs lost, but overall I think it's actually better overall for the average worker.
I think people are
I
going
think
to
I
be
think they're going to create a lot
super
more
fucked.
opportunities, and there's going to be a lot more stuff. But anyways, let's not get too off topic here
No,
because I
let's
want to
get
lead into
back
this big
to,
loss. Let me tell
yeah.
one more story then. So this is another one just from this week.
Hmm.
Um, this guy was moving from Montreal. Family was moving from Montreal. They bought a new construction home. It was 2.3. They put
Where?
150,000 in Richmond Hill.
Richmond
150,
Hill, 2.3, and they
yeah,
put money in to
big
a brand
house,
new house.
3,500 square feet. 150K renos like basement and a
Wow.
few upgrades and stuff like that. So they got 2 point 4 or 5 in, right? 2.5, let's say, after all their closing costs. And they never sold their house in Montreal. They couldn't get the price they wanted. So they're carrying both houses for the last year.
And they're
So again, they
renting the one
call
in
us in.
Montreal.
Why don't you guys buy the house? We'll go back to Montreal. We'll figure this out, all this kind of stuff. And I said, hold on a second. I said, what's going on in Montreal? And he told me the numbers. And I'm like, and where do you think it's worth? And it was like 50 grand less. I was like, we have to take less. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to take a little bit less in Montreal. It's like 50 grand. I go, let's look at the comps in your neighborhood right now. First of all, we got a builder building next to you. Like as I'm driving into the subdivision, there's signs for new construction homes that has like 200 homes. Like on their website, they have every model available. Anything you want, pre-con, it's there, it's ready. You can go in the sales center, you can pick it out, you can pick your lot, you can pick the home you want, and it's like you can get them to throw in everything included. Appliances, fireplace, stone wall, whatever you want, that builder's going to give you, okay?
Yeah.
Then there's people selling resale that bought at the same time as him, and the last sale was 1,850,000. Little smaller house, unfinished basement. So I'm like, what are you going to get? 2 million, 2.1, like after everything else, real estate fees, lawyer fees, all that kind of stuff, he's down $500,000. So I'm like, you're gonna lose 50 grand by selling that house a little bit cheaper in Montreal than you want to, or you take a $500,000 loss in this property you bought after only living in it for a year. I go, it's an easy decision. I said, you're staying in Toronto. You're not going back to Montreal.
But he wanted to sell it to you not at a loss, right?
Well, of course, yeah. He was like, well, we're not willing to take a loss. I was like,
we'll sell it
okay.
to you, but you're gonna have to pay 2.5.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
listen, these are the calls that you're going on every week. Is just like people who are in trouble.
Crazy.
People who are in trouble.
Delusional, scared, fucking running for the hills.
They're in trouble, and luckily they're the two people I met this week, they're down big time on paper, but like, their jobs are still safe and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. Right. So I'm always happy to hear that when I go in there and people aren't telling me that they're behind 3 months on their payments. Right. I just had that lady get her house taken away, and I got 2 more right now that I'm working with that are like in the same boat, like almost. So I'm working hard here to try to not let that happen.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was actually happy this week. We had a sale go through on our street that was actually not bad.
Good.
Didn't like screw things up.
Yeah. You felt like it was in line.
I feel like it's kind of holding here, which is pretty cool. Thank God. But
you want to do the condo now?
Yeah, because like,
okay.
I mean, I'm somewhat fortunate, but some people, and I mean, we'll get into it, but like, this is I don't know. Toronto condo sold at $800,000 loss just 6 months after last sale is the big headline, TK.
I know.
And we got like a Yorkville condo, okay? Right? A Yorkville condo, which is actually, I don't even think it's really in Yorkville, but they market
I don't think it's Bay Street.
It's Bay Street is in Yorkville, but this part of it,
but
this part of it is not.
I don't consider this Yorkville, even though it's south of Bay.
It's not.
To me, it's just south of Bay. But
south of Bloor. South of Bloor.
Sorry, south of Bloor. Yeah,
it's not in Yorkville. Technically,
I don't consider this Yorkville.
Physically,
north of Bloor.
It's not Yorkville. There's but they call it Yorkville.
Sure.
And it's an older building, and it's I mean, it's a pretty big unit, I think. Hold on.
2,300 square feet.
Yeah, no bad.
Maintenance fees, $2,976. It's at 1166 Bay Street.
That's crazy.
So here's the problem with this
one.
Month. Here's the problem with this one. I got another bone to pick with this guy. And you know what? I don't know what the situation is with the agent or the seller. Maybe they went through some stuff. I don't really know. But these guys bought this condo in 2023 for $1,579,000. Then they sold it to this schmuck for $3.15 million in 2025. Okay, so we're talking about less than 2 years later, in a 2,300 foot condo. Okay, so 2,300 square foot condo. So think about
for
that.
What? 3,150.
3,150. So $1.6 million more for a condo. So you're the agent. You're walking through, and they wanted more money. They tried to get a little bit more money at first when they were listed. They were trying to ask like 3.8, then 3.7, then 3.5, then 3.4, and 3.4, then 3.3, and they eventually sold it for 3.15. But you're the agent, and you're going to tell your buyer, and you say, these people just paid $1.56 million for this. The market's gone down since then on condos, right? They didn't spend $1.6 million in renovations, right?
No, they didn't do anything.
No, they did a beautiful renovation. They renovated the whole thing. Okay, from that time. But what does it cost to renovate a 2,300 square foot condo?
They didn't do that much.
Yes, they did. They did the whole thing. I'm looking at it.
They didn't do $2 million worth of stuff.
No, in a condo, 2,300
It's
square
like
foot
nothing.
condo.
Yeah,
I
it's like
just renovated a
floors and paint.
1,300 square foot condo for $90,000. Totally renovated the whole thing.
So, but hold on a sec. What's crazy though is even at the 3,150, it's only like $1,450 a square foot, which for that location is not expensive. It's cheap.
$2,300 of maintenance, a square foot maintenance fee.
Forget about maintenance fees, but just for the cost per square foot of the condo, that's cheap for that area.
You're comparing it the wrong way, though. It's an old building, so it's not the same price per square foot.
Still.
No way. They overpaid.
1,450.
They overpaid. They should have paid.
People are paying
somewhere
3,500.
I don't care. That's a new building with new amenities, with new fill in the blank.
Not even.
As an agent, your responsibility is to protect your client and make sure that they make sense. And for them to sell it 6 months later, obviously there was something there that hadn't been well thought about. It could have been some tragic incident. So I'm not trying to put any pressure on that person. They already lost a lot of money. But their agent, he should be, looking at himself in the mirror saying, I let my client overpay. And then the proof, it's like serendipitous. It's like 6 months later, you get proof that you oversold it to your client because then you tried to sell it and you couldn't even get them anywhere close to the price that they paid. They sold it for $800,000 less than what you sold it to them for 6%. Did the market go down 800,000 in 6 months? No. It's because they overpaid back then because you didn't care about anything other than your commission. That's what happened. And the real value of the condo might have been 2.5. And then it went down to 235. Okay.
The whole
thing they overpaid
weird.
650,000. How do you sleep at night?
But the whole thing is weird. Like, how do you lose it in 6 months? Like, how do you buy it and then we better take $1 million hit right now because TK. I mean, come on. Let's think about this. Let's really think about this, okay? Wow, this place is so beautiful. I'm going to pay 3.15 million for it.
Yeah.
Did I pay cash? No. I must have a $2 million mortgage on this thing. What freaked me out so much? I guess I lost my job, maybe?
Most likely it's a mortgage problem based on my experience.
6 months. How do you have a mortgage from?
The person
6 month mortgage? You took a private to close?
Just saying.
What's happening?
It doesn't make sense at all. But it just, in most of the scenarios that I'm in, the people who are losing a lot, it's because the bank is breathing down their neck. And so they got no choice but to sell.
In 6
but in
months?
This situation, it should have been a cash purchase, a $3.1 million condo.
You would
with
think for this.
It should be a cash purchase. It's a luxury condo, beautiful property. Should be someone with money.
There's a lot of people with $2 million mortgages, right? There's a lot of people. I mean, I don't know. This guy, maybe he had some fucking meme coin or something that he lost all his money, or maybe he was like a tech billionaire. And then what the fuck happens in 6 months? And first of all, it probably took a few months to sell. How long did it take to sell? Like, when was it listed?
Which time?
The last time.
The last time
they
first listed it
dropped chow
for 2.995 in June, and then 3 months later sold it for 235.
And they still sold it in 6 months. So what the fuck? They started selling it in 3 months.
They sold it in 3 months.
What has to happen that you move in and go, uh-oh, like, what the fuck?
Right away.
Come
Closing date was May 30th. And then they relisted it June 12th right away. So they never even moved in.
This is Crazyville. Okay. This is Crazyville. So what happened here? What happened here?
That's why I think it could be like a tragic thing. So I don't want to blow this up because obviously we're on YouTube and we're talking about it, and somebody could be really sensitive about this. And they already saw it on Blog TO, and then now we're talking whatever. So I'm only going to talk about the agent. because the agent should not have sold it to them for that much money because it was not worth
I
that much
still
money
think
at
it
that
was
time.
worth that though. This is what's
No,
crazy is
no.
$1,400 is
Like
not
then
bad
why
for
did
them.
but why did it sell for 1.5 back in 1.579 back in 2023 if it was worth it? You
Yeah,
don't
no, they got a great deal back then. Look, they even got it for like 200,000 under what they were trying to sell it for. I don't even know. There must have been more because the first listing here isn't expired. If you dig a little deeper, the
yeah.
story probably gets even more fucking crazy. Like somebody took a hit in the 20 anyways. This is the kind of crazy shit that's going on out there.
Yeah.
This has fraud written all over it or some
No, it
kind of
doesn't. No, it
laundering.
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
How
It
the
has
fuck?
there's a sad story attached to it. So
I
anyways, let's
hope
move
it's a
on.
sad story.
Let's move on.
All right.
Hopefully, we can't say the agent's name online, but
Why?
hopefully people find out and they
It's
don't ever want
online.
to use that agent
Public information.
services.
Should we say
All
it?
right.
Should I
No,
say
we
it?
don't. We don't
No,
want to
we
say
don't want
that.
to say it.
No.
What about this other one? Do we want to
Okay,
talk
so
about
the
this or
other house.
have we killed it?
Oh, where did I go?
This one's like a brand new custom house that I
Yeah,
drove by like so
it's
many
in North York.
times.
We won't say the
North
address, but
York, and I mean, you knew they were going to get killed because they were just for sale forever. Like, how long were they for sale for? TK? Expired, terminate.
yeah, they start at
Terminated.
4. They start at 4 million. Bought the lot for 1.2. Built a 4,200 square foot
2021. Hold
house.
on. When was this? This is like still good times. Good times. It was fucking crazyville when they bought this thing.
21.
April 21. It was
Yeah.
fucking rocking and rolling.
Okay.
And for some reason, they were selling in December already. Same, like 8 months
No,
later. Yeah. Look, it's terminated.
but no. They didn't start selling it again until 2024 after they finished buying it. So they bought the lot for 1.2 and change. They built a great house, 4,200 square feet. They wanted
No,
4
look.
million.
They
Doesn't matter.
terminated 1599.
They started dropping the price over and over again. Okay, and they eventually sold for 2.5 roughly. Okay, so bottom line is they lost money.
They
They
tried
built
to
the house.
flip it first, though,
They,
because they must have freaked out or something. They couldn't sell it. They built it
yeah,
and they just fucking watched the market disintegrate as they tried to get the amount of money they needed, right? Because they
sure.
started at 4 million.
4,200 square foot house. COVID prices will say $500 a square foot. It's super luxury, super modern, landscaping, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're $2 million, let's call it, for the house, a few hundred grand in soft costs, 1.2 and change for the land. You're in at 3.5.
At
Right?
least, right. At
Okay,
least
you're
three
in
and a
at three and a
half.
half, and they sell it for 2.5. They're losing more than our buddy there in South Yorkville.
It's a worse fucking loss.
You
It's a
know,
bigger loss.
those are big losses. And then I'm telling you two stories just now where they're hundreds of thousands of dollars that people are losing in this market.
And what's crazy is actually right
You know?
across the street from this one, these guys built another one. And so these guys must be just having a hell of a fucking time out there right now.
Yeah.
I feel for them. I mean, that was me back in 2008, 2009. Just like hanging on, hoping somebody's going to come. I had two of them and it was a nightmare. And so,
The
like,
worst,
it's not easy to take a hit that big.
yeah.
Like, can you imagine? I was out there, TK. I've told this 100 times, but I was out there test driving 911s, getting ready to buy my Porsche. I was so excited. I thought I was going to make so much money. I sold my wife's car. I bought her a brand new Denali. And then it was like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
this is not going to work out according to plan. And holy shit, man. So, like, I can't even imagine I feel like this is
Sounds like they got a lot of cash. So what's worse, losing a bunch of a lender's money and having to just sort of like, walk away with your tail between your legs, or having a lot of money and then losing it all cash? What's a worse feeling?
Well, listen, I mean, for me, I lost all of my money. The
Mhm.
lenders,
But these guys got millions in order to be able to do this. There's no way that's all construction
no, because
financing.
listen, but a lot of people, it's like, they'll find a lot, they'll bring in an investor, they'll maybe
Yeah,
put in a little of their own money, but they'll bring in
but there's
guys for the
cash.
money.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's cash, yeah,
Yeah,
but like again, it's the incentive that the top guy, okay, if he's
Mhm.
got very little money. I'm the sweat equity guy. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sweat equity. I'm going to do all the work. TK is the money guy. He's going to bring in all the money. Like
Mhm.
that guy at the top with zero money, his incentive is different than the guys with the money. Okay. So when
Sure.
the shit hits the fan, okay, when the shit hits the fan, you
Everyone
gotta
looks up at the sweat equity guy.
and goes, you better
What
fucking
the
figure this out
right?
and not run
What
away,
did you get
right?
us into?
What the fuck are you doing,
Right?
man? No, but it's not even that. It's like, again, it's just like the choices that get made along the way and for whose benefit. It's like, it's very hard to get everybody's incentives in line all over the place so that it's actually like good for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Except in an up market. Up market is fucking beautiful. It's a whole bunch
Everybody
of
wins.
geniuses everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's winning,
Yeah.
right? You can't lose. What do you want to put it on? Black and red, man. I'm going for both, right? I'm hedging my bets because I can't lose. But
Yeah.
now when shit goes to shit, man, you better hope that like I don't know, either you got the best thing in the fucking world or you got the best operator in the world, or hopefully both. But some guys will just fucking leave, right? I've heard stories like you wouldn't believe where the guy just no incentive to stay. Just way easier to just disappear.
The sweat equity guy.
The sweat equity guy. It's like I'm out of here.
Who's got the
Fuck this
keys?
shit, right?
How are we supposed to get in the place? Who's got the keys here? You know?
I am out of here.
Yeah.
Out of here.
You got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know who you can trust. What's going on development wise? I saw that there was a post about housing ministers talking about big changes to municipal development charges. First of
Yeah,
all,
that could
kudos
be
to
good.
Doug for fighting against the speed cameras.
I
Right?
guess. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I just got a ticket yesterday.
Okay,
I
listen,
didn't want to
those
go that way.
things are tax grabs of all tax grabs. And then you got Chow and all the other counselors who are all like, "Oh no, we can't do it. The children, somebody think of the children." They're not thinking of the children. They're looking about how much money they're making from those bloody things. Because
Mhm.
everybody I know has been getting City of Toronto ones. Everybody I know has been getting them who drives around the city like regularly. Daryl, have you?
No.
Be honest.
I'm positive I got one yesterday. I'm telling you. I have
Yeah.
a here, look, on my desk here.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one right here.
I pay them regularly, either a parking ticket or a speeding ticket, or I got something going on. Like
you
it's
see it?
just, yeah. Don't worry, I know. I saw a glimpse of it.
I'm
Right?
pretty
It's just
sure
like
it wasn't me.
at least every month there's one on my desk that I look at for about 2 or 3 weeks before I pay it, and I'm just like, what am I doing with my life?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't
got
even drive
tickets
fast. I'm not even a
coming out of
fast driver.
everywhere.
I'm not a fast driver.
None of these
But
are me. I
I'm on a-
maybe one
Yeah, but I'm a careless parker sometimes. Sometimes I'll forget, like
to look
certain.
at the sign or
Yeah,
to
maybe not
pay.
look at the sign. No, I usually remember to pay. That's usually not the reason. It's usually parking somewhere that I'm not supposed to. Jerk.
There's 4 drivers in this house. I don't
Yeah,
know who's driving which car when.
yeah.
I rarely go places.
So, but who pays the bill?
Of course, I pay the bill,
Yeah.
but yesterday we're heading home from dinner and I wanted to go a certain way. And of course, everybody in the car has to tell me the right way to go. And it can't be the way that I'm going. The right way is never the way I pick. Everybody's got a
definition.
goddamn opinion. So I've learned over time to just listen to them. It's
Okay.
way easier. But of course, so I'm going and my father-in-law's got to take a shit and I'm rushing. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't want him to shit in the car, TK. I don't like that. Okay. So I'm like gunning it. And then my kids go, there's one of those cameras right there. And I'm like where? Like I just passed it going like 90.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a big
Good luck with that. Good luck
Yeah,
with that.
but
Yeah.
I'd rather pay that ticket. Well, maybe I won't have to pay it now that Dougie shut the program down.
Well, I'm hoping that Dougie's going to get it shut down.
I'd rather pay that ticket, TK, than have
any word from the housing minister stuff that they're saying is changes are coming? Is that something that's in your news feed?
Listen, I read the same thing you did. Changes are coming. I
That's
don't
all
know
it
what
is.
they are.
Okay.
Changes have been coming already. Who knows
Because
what
I
they're
think if
gonna-
Dougie can do the parking tickets,
yeah,
the speeding tickets, the speeding
Yeah.
cameras,
yeah.
then the development charges he's going to handle as well too. He just has to go in there and he's just got to slap around his big provincial stick and
Yeah.
basically say, all right, enough is enough. You guys are greedy. Figure it out. Here's some funding. Here's some extra, tools in order for you
Yeah.
guys to be able to, make this work
Yeah.
and just eliminate development charges.
I mean,
Imagine.
it would make a difference. That's for
Yeah.
damn sure. And it would definitely bring down the cost considerably. I mean, people don't
Make it
realize.
illegal. Make it just like you cannot charge development charges in
No.
any municipality in Ontario. That's it. You
Yeah.
get your money from the tax revenue that's generated from the property after it's built.
That's the smartest thing that I've ever heard you say, TK. Honestly, it's so obvious too. It's like so
Yeah.
easy. It makes such a difference. People don't realize, like, we pay those development charges before we get a permit, right? We
Mhm.
we have to pay interest on the development charges. We have to pay interest on millions of dollars that go literally fucking nowhere, or
Mhm.
into, like, there's an account with like $8 trillion in it right now with all the development charges,
Just,
right?
just in case.
It's only
Just in case something needs to be built, right?
right. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, when they're gonna rebuild the science center, someone from that. You remember that whole fucking corrupt thing?
Well, we're still talking about the tunnel between Mississauga and Markham.
There's a
And they're going to
tunnel?
go on. Yeah. So it's 3 levels, east, west, and a train. Big tunnel
Who's
going
talking
from
about this? What
Dougie.
is this?
Dougie.
What?
All right. Dougie's talking about a tunnel from Mississauga to Markham, 3 levels, one going east, one going west, and then the
Under
train.
the 401? Is that the thing under the?
Basically, yeah, but it's going to
Yeah.
go throughout the whole city. And that right now, we're not sure we can build it. Okay.
Is
We
that
don't
gonna be
know.
finished?
We don't know if it can be built yet. All right. We don't know.
2080.
But listen, we're going to bring in companies. And what we're doing is we're letting the whole world know if anybody thinks that they can build this, let us know.
Yeah.
If they got a way to build this, tell us because we're interested.
We'll just do it digitally. How about that? We'll sell stock in this thing. We'll do it
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
The digital underground tunnel. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll get finished at least, and it'll maybe it'll come in under budget.
Listen, all
It'll
I
be
know
as
is,
useful.
all I know is Dougie knows how to get things done. All right.
He knows how to get
He has
things done, but then they
Nothing's
get
really been done yet.
undone.
Nothing's
Get
been done yet.
undone.
Nothing's been done yet. Okay.
Oops.
But he's got some ideas
Oh,
on how to get stuff done. And
how
we're
am I
moving
going to
in
get
that
out of this
direction.
one? How
Which
am I going
just
to
goes
figure
to
this
show
out?
you, just goes to show you how running a business, the skill set in running a business is so helpful in politics. The issue is the politicians, and this everyone's going to hate me for saying this, they aren't paid enough money for the best businessman to be able to get into politics.
Hmm.
That's what we need. Is we need to
Well-
have, like how you always talk about incentives.
Yeah.
You have a really good incentive for somebody. It's like if you can eliminate all of our taxes, like we will pay you way more money than you can in any other job. You know
That's
what I mean?
such a good idea.
If you can create this much transiting, this much infrastructure, this much houses, all that kind of stuff, your benefits
Yeah.
will be far greater than you can get in any other job, and you will attract the best talent. It's just
Yeah.
look at the people we've got. The politicians that we've got literally are they're just politicians. Like they're like on paper,
No,
they're not
but-
qualified to do any of the work that we want them to do.
No, but now you actually, contrary to what you're saying, you have the new breed of politician, like our fucking prime minister, who is a businessman whose incentive it is to be prime minister is to drive our entire budget towards his company. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
$3 trillion is going to Brookfield in
Hmm.
2026. And I mean, I don't know why
we could,
that would
we,
be.
we could send this out for bids. We could send this out, or we'll just, you know what? There's one company who could probably handle all of this,
Yeah.
and let's just go with them. Let's just,
I don't know if I own any stock in that company anymore because I had to put it in this blind trust thing. So I'm pretty sure that I don't have anything to do with it.
yeah.
They're
But once
such
I'm
nice
not
guys.
prime minister anymore, I'll find out if I made billions of dollars or not.
Well, yeah, I might have some good investments when I'm finished here in office.
Yeah, he's so
But-
like not even trying to hide it.
But did you see? Did you see
Yeah.
Trump's speech at the UN? Did
Yeah.
you hear that thing?
Yeah.
He fucking basically disintegrated the Canadian economy and government. Said, he basically said that like the green scam. He's like, if your country is running the green scam, you're
Yeah.
fucking
You're
toast.
done.
You're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
the other big thing? It was the green. Oh, and immigration.
Yeah.
Immigration and the green scam are, he's like, your country are run by fucking morons and they're destroying your countries.
Yeah.
It's fucking
He
crazy
said a
what's
lot of
going
things in
on.
that speech. That was
I,
funny.
it
That was
was
a
like
lot. There was a lot of good content and clips on that. Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I don't know. Is the guy a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he really Elvis? Nobody knows. Is
He's
he
full.
Satan?
He's
Was he from the future? Is he
yeah.
from the past? Have you heard all that stuff? Like
I
he's
love I love
time
right now the
traveler?
new one. The new one. The new one is don't eat Tylenol if when you're pregnant. Like it was just like they pulled out the studies. They're just
Don't
like, all
eat
right,
it. It's like it
that's
makes
it.
them. No, but
That's
they're
it.
literally linking it to autism.
I know, but it's like, anyways, let's not get into that topic. But all I'm trying to say is like he's standing behind it as if, he is the leader in fighting against autism. Like he has found what scientists for decades have not been able to find. Like
That's
he
right.
he was the one who found the answer. It's like, guys, we've got the culprit.
It's
It's
Tylenol.
Tylenol.
This is great.
Like,
That's crazy.
oh my God.
No,
So
but
clear.
that's pretty crazy. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Well, anyways, let's
Tylenol.
let's not debate on whether or not the studies are true or not,
I
because
love it.
I can promise you that there's a lot of misinformation in this world that we live in these days.
It's
But it's
truly
funny how
unreal.
he as a politician
Yeah.
is just like taking this charge in a way that makes him sound so like heroic. But at the end of the day, like I know Trump does not know the first thing about
How
any of
many?
those scientific studies that he's
No,
claiming
but
have certain results.
how much stock do him and
Yeah.
his friends own of
Yeah.
Advil, okay, or a Aleve or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
seriously, I'll
Right?
bet you
Yeah.
should check the stock market right now.
Tylenol wasn't playing ball.
Tylenol stock just took a no. Everybody, all his friends, they all shorted Tylenol and
Yeah.
bought, right? They
Yeah.
bought Advil.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have done that. I didn't even think of that. That would have been a smart play,
Shorting Tylenol. Yeah.
right? Shorting Tylenol after that speech. Damn.
Shoot.
God
Yeah. It's
damn
all
it.
good. Next
Wonder
one.
what Mogul Ryder did. I wonder if he knew that whole thing was coming. Guy seems to know, he told us that France. You see what's going on all over the goddamn world right now?
Yeah.
Everywhere is pandemonium. What else do we got going on? Every country seems Nepal
Yeah.
is like
Nepal's
on
a cool
fire.
one. Yeah. Nepal's a cool one.
Italy, everybody's gone
I think
fucking
that's going to happen in
bananas.
Canada eventually.
That's
Right?
what they're hoping. This
I
is
think
the whole
we're going to lead a
plan.
revolution. We are going to have a
Civil
Discord
war.
and we're going to elect like somebody who is going to actually get stuff done.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, I don't know, like somebody from Degrassi or like somebody that we
Drake? Is it
trust.
going to be Drake?
Maybe, I don't know.
Drake's going to lead us
But
out. I
it's going
thought
to
he
be
was a
something.
pedophile.
Listen, it's going to be somebody who we're going to be like, listen, that guy there, he knows his stuff. He's going to make it work for us and or she. And they're not going to be a career
They maybe.
politician. Yeah.
They could be the ones
They could
doing
be
it.
they. They could be
Could
they.
be they. Although
No,
Trump
that doesn't
banished
fit
that
we
too.
don't need that role, unfortunately.
Well,
Sorry,
we
Daryl.
have we
Sorry.
have a
We need a he or a she, and we need somebody who's very confident in that, pronoun.
we have a prime minister that's child is, I believe, a they,
Oh,
them. It
how
it's
liberal.
how liberal.
Yeah.
Following, the 9 years of the last Fruity Pebble,
Yeah.
it's going to be harder to just eliminate, at least for the next few years from this country. We're going to
Yeah.
have more trans national things to discuss here in Canada for sure. But I digress, TK.
Yeah.
There are other things going on other than trans people. Can I tell you a funny story? Can I read this to you?
Sure.
This blows my mind. Do you want So I have some carpentry work that I'd like to get done around the house. And I started calling some people, and this interaction is just it's unbelievable. Okay. So first, I reached the guy and he says, listen, I'm too busy. If you're still looking for somebody on Tuesday, like, give me a call. I'll be finished my job. And I was like, okay. And he goes, I apologize for the inconvenience. I go, no worries. Today, he texts me, he goes, still need a carpenter. This is at 6:45 p.m. Still need a carpenter? I said, yes. He goes, how about tomorrow, 4 p.m.? Tomorrow is Sunday. Okay. I'm at the Jays game at 4 p.m. By the way, doesn't he fucking know I'm busy? It's Sunday.
Didn't you
But
check the
anyways,
schedule?
it's like 6:45 at night, and he's like, I'm gonna come tomorrow at 4. Oh, I didn't answer. I was busy watching my daughter play hockey. Or, you busy? Did you already get what you need or want installed? It's like literally 4 minutes ago, I said I still needed somebody, and he's just then another. I'd rather go there and start, not waste time and money for a quote. I'll do it all. He doesn't know what the job is yet. Okay. I'll
Hmm.
do it all for $1,400, labor only. Hold on. Half up front always. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. Then he goes,
I don't know what the job is, but I'll do it all for
right?
$1,400
He goes,
cash,
you
labor only, 50% deposit.
right? And then he goes, you good? And I'm like,
You find the worst people,
hold on,
Daryl.
hold on, hold on.
Please.
He goes, I said, I'm not available then. Wait till the next part. This is the best. It's not even the good part yet. I go, I'm not available then. He goes, no problem. So when you ready, send half and date and time.
Yeah.
You'll be my top priority.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm getting ripped again. Too many scammers online. Okay. This is what I'm the potential client, and he's
Yeah.
like worried
He's
about
telling you about
scammers
scammers.
online.
Yeah.
Okay. Free quote over the phone only these days. Life's expensive, right? I got you if you got me, period. I need to eat and pay my bills as well. Just being transparent, not rude. Like it's like text after text after
Oh my
text.
God.
Okay. Just
You gotta
had,
hire that guy.
well, hold on a sec. Just had a customer rip me off for tools. So I'll need your word. My tools are safe where I'll be working. I'm just a good man getting fucked with a good price. And then they do me like this.
Oh my God.
Up to you if you wish to hire me. I'm not starving. It's like, what the hell did I just?
Oh my gosh. Where do you find these guys?
And I'm like sitting here going,
Yeah.
like, do I like this guy?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's very direct, or
it's
what the fuck?
it's like me selling my car right now, right? Like I didn't meet with anybody. I'm trying to sell my old car. It's got 300,000 kilometers. I'm just trying to sell it to a good home in West Africa. All right, because they go for more money there than they do here. And I'm like, messaging all these people back, and then I stop it. I've had the car online for like 2 months. Like I barely ever reply to people because I'm too busy and I just don't want to be bothered by it. So finally, this guy gets my attention because he messaged me like 18 times, and his name's Lucky. And I'm like, I like that name. I've had maybe 100 messages on Facebook Messenger. So I give the guy my number. He calls me. He's ready to meet me right away. I said, look, the only reason that I'm meeting with you is because I liked your name. I said, I can meet with you. This is my price. This is what we're going to do. But I'm only selling to an exporter. He's like, okay. He sends me a picture of a trailer full of stuff, like a shipping container. I said, great. I said, let's meet. He's a Nigerian. So we meet. We have a good conversation. He's like, oh, you're in real estate. He goes, I gave $200,000 to my lawyer to do second mortgages. I said, well, that's gone. Here's a couple stories for you. So he's all worried. He's like, well, once that comes for mature, like
You
once
did that? You
of
told him?
course,
Oh.
of course. I said,
Oh,
listen,
no.
listen, buddy, second mortgages from your
Is
lawyer.
his
I said,
lawyer Nigerian too?
I told him stories about
Oh,
lawyers that I'm
no.
dealing with who lent their clients money, and they're coming back to me trying to help me get the house sold in order to be able to get part of their money back because most of it's gone,
Oh.
right? And so, anyways, he didn't like that. So then, anyways, we come up and I told him I got a firm price. I said, that's it, firm price. And I'm like, I don't blink. I'm like, no, I'm firm. Boom. He's just like, okay. And he gave me a sob story. The next day, I'm only going to make $800, da 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 da. If everything goes right, if it goes wrong, he gave me all these little things about what could go wrong, and he has to pay a lower price. So I'm like, don't worry about it. And then I went back to him and says, you know what? I want you to make money. I said, I can do that price. Meet with me Monday. Monday came. He doesn't have the money. He goes, I'm sorry. I don't have the money.
But he met you.
Yeah. He's like, I don't have the money. He says the money didn't come through. Da, 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 da. And now it's obviously like a week later. So like I haven't called anybody else. Nobody else. Oh, sorry. One guy I gave him
Neutral location though. You're meeting this guy.
Yeah, I met a
like
guy in
not
a
at
neutral
home.
location. Not at home. And so then I said, okay, I'll give another guy a chance. Another Nigerian guy calls me. Now this guy's just like, what price do you want? Yes, give me. What price? Where are you right now? What's your
I'll
address? What's
double
your
it. I'll triple
He's
it.
going on and on and on. Like, give me your address. Don't. I said no. I said I'll send you a photo. I'll send you this. I need you to like tell me that what price what you can do. I'll send you a video of the car, everything, right? And he's like going on and on and on, pressuring me to give me like the address and like where he wants to meet me right now. And I was just like, sorry, buddy, you're not my guy.
You're not my guy.
Anyways, I think God's telling me to keep the car and just drive it until it like doesn't work anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's a good car. It's
God
great. It's a
wanted
great car.
God wanted me to have a little comedy routine for the show because I was like,
Probably. Yeah.
this is
Yours
gold.
is. Yeah.
We should actually do that as like a skit would be
Yeah.
pretty funny,
Put
right?
out some Facebook Messenger ads for handyman work and just see what kind of person we can get in. I've
Can
been
you
getting some great
imagine?
immigrant handyman help lately.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing some deliveries. I had done junk removal, and like when they message you, like you just tell by how their English texting is. But man, are they cheap and they work hard and they've done a great job. And I got some houses cleared out the other day. I've had some things moved around the city. Like I've had some really good luck lately finding some random
I
workers.
don't know. I just went through a Tim Hortons and I almost lost my fucking mind because it's like,
Yeah,
first of all, I don't understand. Why do you got two lines? Why you got two lanes now if you can only fucking handle one of them at a time? It's not like you got two people, one on each speaker. It's you sit there going, hello? Hello? Does anybody want to take my order?
yeah,
And they never answer. But
yeah.
then it's like, okay, I'll have a tea and I'll have a coffee with 2 milks and 1 sugar. Okay, tea? You wanted black? Yeah, black tea. What's the other thing? And then I start talking, but I hear them talking in the background. She's not
Yeah.
paying attention. I had to ask for coffee. Okay. It's a medium coffee, 2 milk, 1 sugar. It's like the most basic, normal fucking coffee you could order on earth. It took 8 tries for her to understand fucking 2 milks and 1 sugar. I'm not even kidding.
Hmm.
TK. It took everything in my power to not go crazy. And look, there's people that don't have as much patience as me, TK. And people are really starting to lose their patience because I'm sure there's many people that are lovely, lovely immigrants that are trying their hardest and want to do the best. But like, I don't know who the fuck is hiring these people at Tim Hortons, but they're not training anybody. Or they're just hiring the dumbest fucking people on earth because I don't know what's going on. You cannot get a proper coffee around here anymore. My wife goes, why don't we just all stop going to Tim Hortons for fuck's sakes? And I
Good
said,
luck.
yeah,
They got you.
there's
They
no
got you good.
vacuum. There's nowhere to go. There's no other option.
So
TK.
let's find a way to end the show here, all right? So
No
before we
comment. You don't want to
before we
comment on that?
no
Nothing?
we all face that, Daryl. We all face
No
that. We all know
comment.
what's going on at
I'm
Tim
just gonna
Hortons.
leave it out there with
I
that
leave it out
just
there.
hanging. It's like
It's
I'm waiting
we
for a high five. And
we've all been there. We've all been
Yeah.
there. We've all been there. We know.
Thank you. Thank
We
you
know.
for
We got
having
no
me.
choice but to go back to Tim Hortons. That's it.
Very
Go to
safe.
Balzac's. Balzac's is good coffee.
I got a fucking cupboard full of Balzac. Tastes like such shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like somebody ordered 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's how we
So
roll, TK.
real estate is not back.
Real estate is back. I spoke to a lender this week who told me
Okay.
everybody he's talking to is bullish. He's so busy. He's going crazy. Everybody's bullish again. And I was
Sure.
like, who are
Well,
you talking
I'm
to?
telling you, as the offers I'm getting and the showings and all that kind of stuff, people are nervous. They have to sell their house. They
Mm,
gotta buy. They gotta sell. We're getting lots of conditional offers, conditional on the sale of the buyer's property.
yeah.
We've got people who are losing their homes. We got lots of listings. I got listings that were getting offers a couple months ago at a certain number. Now we're getting a lower number. Finally, my sellers are like, okay, call those guys, tell them to bring me in the offer. We're willing to work with them now.
Yeah.
And I'm calling them back and they're going, look, we got to bring it in cheaper now. Our house is worth less.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it's been so much time. We're not stupid.
yeah.
Right?
So
It's
these are
going
these are
down.
the things that are going on. But every week people can tune in here and they will get real stories from two guys who don't know everything.
Only two guys. No more guests, TK.
No more guests. We don't do
No more
guests
guests.
anymore. All right, guys. We are sticking to our shtick and we're going to bring you guys the best content. So be here next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because
That's the
you know
thing
it's good
to
for
do.
you.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're
Right?
supposed to do when you
That's
like
what
a
you're
YouTube
supposed
channel.
to do. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, it's
Yeah.
been like years. You're probably watching us and like holding on to your subscription,
Subscription,
like
as if
it's
someone's going to
worth
check who
fucking
you
something.
subscribe to and say, oh, this guy's subscribed to the Canadian Real Estate Show. He's an idiot.
He's a fucking
Nobody
moron.
cares who you subscribe to. If
No.
you're on Spotify or any other podcast right now, come over to YouTube, leave us a comment, and subscribe there for us. And
Yeah.
we'll catch you next week.
And check out my Substack. It's on fire, bro. Check
It
out the
is.
Frankfort report. It
Frankfort
is
report.
gone bananas.
Gotta read it.
TK. Gotta read it. All right. Arrivederci, signor.